What's up, you guys? So, you have now seen all of our number one picks for the outgoing console generation, and we have been dying to tell you more about our other picks, some runners-up. I had told them they're not allowed to pick any runners-up or honorable mentions, or mention them in the video. So now, we're going to debate our favorite picks amongst each other. We're going to talk about our runners-up, and yeah, so there we go. So, I picked BioShock. Let's just go around and say...
I picked Skyward Sword.
I picked Dead Space 2.
And I picked Batman Arkham City.
Okay, so let's talk about some similarities. In discussing this, we had found Kylie and I had the exact same two that we were debating against. Skyward Sword and BioShock.
Because they're both fantastic.
Yeah, we have similar interests anyway, so that's not super surprising. It is just kind of a crazy coincidence, though, that it's the exact same two.
At least that kind of led to us, like, doing sort of different stuff. Because, I don't know. I guess I picked something that's a little bit less dark than what everyone else seemed to pick. So it's nice to mix it up a little. Even though Zelda's a pretty predictable choice for me.
It's a great game, and it was so hard to pick between BioShock and Skyward Sword for me. I had decided...
They're so different.
They're very different, but I love them both. It's pretty much equally. BioShock was just... Well, it has a wider appeal because of the gameplay, but it's also like...
FPS.
Yeah, and it plays like an FPS, but it feels like a novel, almost.
Exactly. Which is what draws me in.
Yeah, that's why I love it so much.
Well, that's one of the good things about BioShock and games like BioShock is that it's not all about
mindless killing
and running around and slashing people up. It's got rich enough of a backstory that when you play it, it really engrosses you, which is one of the things that I love about Dead Space.
Yeah, and it's not like a horror game.
Right.
In the same vein as Dead Space 2, which is your choice. They're both psychological horror games, and they're not just like, jump scares and other stuff, and just shallow plot. Like, you're just completely immersed in this retro world.
Literally immersed in the water.
Hardy hard.
So both of you had Dead Space 2 on your lists.
Yeah.
What do you like about Dead Space 2? Since we heard his review, what's your review?
I just really liked the first one, and then the sequel just really expanded on it. Like he said, the horrors were more than just jump scares. It was all psychological, and they really made a good concrete storyline out of Isaac and Nicole and all his other relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just took it to a whole nother level from the first one.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I'm interested to see what you think about the Arkham games, because you've been outspoken about DC and Batman before.
Oh boy. Actually, one of my future videos is going to be about Batman. But I actually really enjoyed... I haven't played them too much, but the Arkham games have been really good because it's like the animated series. It's distilled Batman. He's not a god of everything. He's got limits. He's got limits on his technology, limits on his intelligence, limits on his endurance. And as a result of that, because you can feel, especially in the second game, especially in Arkham City, when you can see the tattered cape and how beat up he is.
Yeah.
You can feel the limits. And that's always been an important thing in Batman's characterization for me, because when he can do anything, there's just no more enjoyment in the character. That's why DC struggled with Superman for all these years.
Yeah.
But it was solid gameplay, and that was the other thing that really kind of like solidified it, because it feels like you're playing as Batman. So...
Yeah, I loved Arkham City too, and that was, if that game hadn't come out in the same year as Skyward Sword, then I would have probably thought that was the best game of that year. But Skyward Sword came out that year. So. But yeah, I remember playing that game when it first came out. That was another one of the game, like with Grand Theft Auto 5, where I hadn't played any previous ones, but just on a whim, the day it came out, I decided to go get it, and I loved it. I love the stealth. In that game, going and stringing people up on gargoyles and stuff is great. I love doing that. It's just so fun and satisfying to see them hanging.
You guys
there.
are making it sound appealing to me. I didn't play this one.
I was
Yeah.
originally very disdainful because by that time I was just full out rage against Batman.
Yeah.
And I've calmed down since then. But at that
A
time I
little
was
bit.
like, I don't want to play this stupid Batman game. He's just gonna be good at everything, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
Then I picked the controller up, and 30 minutes later, my cousin's like, "Dude, we gotta go." And I'm like, "Hold on, I just gotta beat this boss."
Yeah. That's great.
Setting goals for yourself. I can go to the bathroom after I finish this.
Yeah. Yeah. I will reward myself with bathroom.
Or with food.
Anyone else
No.
want
Well, you mentioned GTA 5, so maybe we should talk about some other honorable mentions that didn't make our top.
Yeah.
Little Big Planet was in consideration for me.
to?
I was-
It's not as deep as like any of my other choices, but it was a really cool game.
Man.
No, it was cool in like a lot of ways, and it was really different for like a PS3 title. 'Cause usually when people think PS3 and Xbox 360, they're like, oh, FPS games, Star games. Like, I also consider Red Dead Redemption because it's one of the few games I got to play on the PS3. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
It is a good game.
Same
It's a
with
lot of fun.
I played a little bit of Fallout. I'm sure it would have been up there if I ever got to finish it
Mhm.
in time for this video.
I
Yeah.
never got into Fallout, honestly, personally.
Yeah, I've never played it actually. I hear it's great.
My my very close contended runner-up was Halo 3.
Mhm.
You know, I don't actually remember why I chose Dead Space 2 over Halo 3.
Hey, Jack. Jack Nicholson. Come on, it's time to film the video.
Just give me a second, please. What were we talking about?
Halo 3?
Halo 3?
Oh yeah, Halo 3. Oh man, I love that game so much. It was my first game that was ever got for me on my 360, and my mom surprised me on Christmas with the Xbox and then also Halo 3 Legendary Edition.
Ooh.
So I was blown out of the water. It's just such an engrossing storyline. Like, they gave Master Chief and Cortana just the right amount of extra characterization that really made them just feel real. And it was just really just an amazing game. Like, it was so close, I literally was, like, stuck for a very long time trying to decide between Halo 3 and Dead Space 2.
Yeah, Halo 3 was one of my favorites too. That was like the first game that I would stay up till 4 or 5 a.m. just playing multiplayer. And
Multiplayer in that game was fantastic.
yeah, pretty much as good as multiplayer gets.
Yeah. And then there's just Bungie's multiplayer map design. I said this in my video, I'm an artist. So just seeing like that kind of comprehensive level design, just getting into the nitty gritty, especially with the armor and all the decals and stuff like that, it's just phenomenal.
Another one of mine, I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with me because it just seems to be the general consensus that like half the people I know don't really like Twilight Princess or
Twilight
despise it.
Okay.
Or they love it. And it doesn't necessarily count as this past generation because it's more like a GameCube game that was ported to the Wii. But I thought that was an absolutely breathtaking Zelda game. And a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Zelda trying to be too dark, trying to be like these other game companies that do make like typically really dark looking games. It's like, well, that's supposed to kind of reflect the plot that
Yeah,
the world
they-
is being taken over
They
by
definitely
darkness.
ruin a reason for that. It's called like Twilight Princess. You're going into this basically dark world, like reminiscent of like A Link to the Past.
Just like the character design in that game was beautiful, and the story and the that one like really. I was kind of out of Zelda for a while, and that was one of the first games I got on the Wii, and it just totally sucked me back in. And now obviously I'm like die-hard Zelda again.
I actually bought that game for the Wii like 2 months before I had a Wii. Because you couldn't find a Wii, but for day one you can get a game, but not necessarily a Wii, because they were sold out for months.
That's the only Zelda game I've played all the way through to completion.
Wow.
Same.
What did you think about it?
I loved it. I thought it was
It's
fantastic.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
huh?
It's really pretty.
It's a
It's
And
one of my favorite
especially
character design ones.
especially when you consider that it was a GameCube game that got ported to the Wii.
Yeah.
And it's still pretty now.
Yeah.
That's like there
To
are
be
very
fair-
few games that are like that.
Like Metroid Prime.
Like Metroid Prime or Republic Commando for the Xbox still looks beautiful on the 360.
Yeah. It's one of my runners up, and one of the reasons why I didn't include it in the running was because it was so new, but The Last of Us, which is from this past year, I don't know if any of you have played it.
It's
No.
I have
Have you
not,
played it?
but it's just I already love it.
It's yeah, I would recommend if you can get your hands on a PS3, play it. It's great character driven story. That one was definitely one where after I'd finished it, I was just on the internet, scouring the internet for every discussion blog
Yeah.
or discussion
Oh, man.
like forum or podcast I could find just to like listen to people talk about it because it just stuck with me after I finished it. Although I don't think I liked it better than BioShock Infinity this year,
Oh, so good.
which is probably my favorite game of the year so far.
That's wow. Just
Pokemon is a pretty big contender.
I actually
In a different way.
I
way.
went backwards. I played BioShock Infinite and really enjoyed the heck out of it, but I didn't play it all the way through because I only borrowed it and I had to give it back. But then I borrowed Deus Ex Human Revolution
Oh yeah.
from my cousin, and it was a little goofy at some parts, which is why it only made like number 3 on my list. But it was just so much fun. Like, I beat the game and then I made a second playthrough just so I could have fun with the game. And one of the things I did is there's this warehouse part of the game. I just went through it with a fax machine and threw it at people, and that's how I beat all of the enemies in the warehouse.
Another one that I considered, but I was pretty sure I wasn't going to pick it. Kind of in the same vein as Little Big Planet, Skullgirls.
Oh
So
yeah,
I absolutely love Skullgirls.
that game has a kickin' soundtrack.
It does. I love the soundtrack. Well, what ultimately drew me into playing Skullgirls, I wasn't really a big fighting game person. I've always been really into like JRPGs and fantasy, whatever. But the design is so cool, and the fact that it's all 2D animation, it's
Yeah.
super fluid. The art style's gorgeous, and it's such a unique roster of characters, but it kind of lacks the depth of the other choices I had, which were Skyward Sword and Bioshock.
Anyone else have any other runners up? Any other ones that they had on their list?
Injustice.
Injustice,
I
yeah.
was
Justice was
expecting
a lot of
someone to
fun.
say that.
Yeah.
Were you expecting me to say that?
I was kind of expecting one of you.
When they announced that there was going to be a DC fighting game, I was like, I have to buy it. I have to have it. I have to own it. And then they were sold out for like 3 weeks, and I cried.
Which is
And-
actually kind of surprising considering your last couple videos.
Well, the thing that you're always harshest on what you love the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
you
DC
have
is,
high expectations.
I love DC Comics, but I hate the people who run the company because they're so dumb. It's being run by
Horrible.
editors right now. It's not run by anybody who knows how to write, and that's the problem. But the thing about Injustice was, I had to have it. Like, I similarly was excited about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, although that they totally gypped us with that game.
Oh.
Do you know what happened with that?
No.
They released Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and then like
Is that the one
not
with
even
Phoenix writing it?
yeah, hardly a month later they released Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with all of the DLC characters for free.
Wow.
Yeah, at the same price as Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Okay.
It was like, why? Why would you do that? But the thing about Injustice, the reason that it didn't rate any higher is because like the storyline was just atrocious in my opinion.
So I was just saying, don't really expect a great story from a fighting game like ever.
Right. Well, normally I wouldn't, but considering that it's a game rooted in comics, it was just like a lot of the decisions they made were really dumb, and Superman punching completely through the Joker's chest just kind of struck me as. Yeah, exactly. There were a couple of really good redeeming moments in the game that I'm not going to spoil, but the storyline was bad, and then literally a third of the roster is Batman. It's Batman, Nightwing. Solomon Grundy has been a frequent Batman character, although he wasn't originally a Batman villain. Catwoman, the Joker, Harley Quinn. And this is on a roster of like 20 as villains, yeah. And then Oh man, they released Batgirl as a DLC character, which is awful. Like a third of the characters a third of the roster is Batman, and it's understandable because that's the only way DC's making money.
I was gonna say that seems like where most of their fans lie.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's where they think most of their fans lie. But they've just been like, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm done.
But like, so storyline and everything aside, though, as far as like a regular classic arcade style fighting game,
oh my god,
it's good. Like
it's
you're playing
so
with your
good.
friends and stuff.
It's irredeemably entertaining.
That's kind of the value of fighting games.
Yeah.
So, like nobody plays them for a story. They play it. There's kind of like this campy characteristic that fighting games have, like Skullgirls. Like it's not deep or anything. I did cry at some of the stories in Skullgirls, I won't lie. Some of them are really sad. But they're still not just like, oh, this is so deep and thought-provoking. But they're kind of just like...
It's not something you're going to stay up thinking about, but they're entertaining to experience.
Yeah, like that game in particular is like over the top in a really fun way. And, you know, you got all the boobies and stuff, and that's what everybody sees first.
Yeah.
That was one of the things about Injustice. Like, the way they explained, like, the Flash being able to punch Superman through a building is with these little pills that the heroes take, and it makes them immune to all damage. So you have, like, Superman punching the Flash literally through a building, and you just see, like, it's half a minute of him bouncing through each floor, and then he lands and then gets right back up, like, okay, let's go.
That can be said about, like, Smash, too.
Yeah.
Like, Smash isn't supposed to be taken seriously, even though the most recent one, which was Brawl, had a storyline.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of characters, like,
It
in
had
an
a
alternate
storyline?
universe. It did, Subspace Emissary.
Subspace Emissary.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
fun. I mean,
It's like,
obviously it was hokey.
It's a huge stretch of how they get everyone together. It's like,
Yeah, but that's hilarious.
Even Ganondorf and Bowser are on your team because there's an even bigger enemy boss that's...
Yeah, and Wario's, like, his lackey and stuff.
Yeah.
Wario's, like, trying to kidnap Luigi and Ness and stuff. Like, it's really hokey, and, like, Link and Yoshi meeting in the woods. But it's hilarious, and that's why we like fighting games.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's actually, just to mention them, not going to get too in-depth with them, Smash Bros. Was on my list, as well as The Walking Dead, Telltale Games.
Oh, yeah.
And...
Great for a non-linear style of gameplay if you're not really into first-person shooters or third-person shooters, or if you're really into heavy storytelling.
It's a point-and-click game. It's a point-and-click story game.
It's a fantastic point-and-click
Yeah,
game.
it's great. It's so good. And then also...
if you're into weeping over pints of ice cream.
Oh, God. I played it
I haven't finished it yet.
I played it 3 times. Okay, the game has incredible replay value because you can play it a number of different ways. I played it 3 times exactly the same way. I couldn't bring myself to be an asshole.
Well, yeah, that's my problem with games like that.
Well, like Bioshock, I never harvested a single little sister.
Me either, yeah.
That's how I was with Dragon Age Origins.
Couldn't do it.
I couldn't be an asshole in that game.
Yeah.
Or like games like sandbox games like Red Dead Redemption or Fallout.
Grand Theft Auto.
I didn't play Skyrim, but it's like in the same vein. You can choose what to do, and I'll never be mean to these fictional characters. I can't bring myself to be a bad guy, even if I try.
Sometimes if I'm having a bad day, I'll
take it out.
What I do is I save and then I go on a rampage and then I reload from the save.
You feel bad about it.
Actually, that's actually a good idea.
That's what I did.
I can't do it.
In Deus Ex, if somebody shafted me, the best weapon in the game is the pistol because you can upgrade it with armor-piercing rounds. So I'd save the game, like, go up to the person, talk to them, and they'd be like, "You look ugly," and it was just little stuff like that. Like, I'd be walking by and I'd talk to someone and they'd be like, "You suck because you have augmentations." I'd just be like, "All right, save." And then at the end, I'm like standing in a street full of dead bodies going,
"What have I done?
What have I done?" Wait, reload.
Reset them. Yeah, and then Xenoblade Chronicles for Wii.
Oh yeah,
Incredible
I heard of that game.
JRPG game. Huge, probably the biggest world in a Wii game. Best graphics in a Wii game, easily.
Hands down.
It's so good. Yeah, and they're likely making a sequel. They haven't said it's a sequel, but it looks exactly the same, and it's like a big X and another thing, which is typical in Xenoblade. That's coming out for the Wii U, and I can't wait. Right.
What about Harvest Moon for the Wii?
Harvest Moon Tree of Tranquility was a great game.
Animal Parade for me.
Okay. So the Wii U's already out. We have a Wii U. Kylie and I have a Wii U.
Nice.
So since this is kind of celebrating the end of the previous console generation, welcoming in the new, what are you guys going to be getting?
I haven't decided yet.
I might get a PS4 solely for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Same. Exactly the same.
I'm just so disappointed with Microsoft. But the thing is, they reneged on all of their crappy policies.
Yeah.
Like, because...
Now the only bad part is that it's $100.
Right. It's $100 more, which is absurd. But, like, they had my biggest thing, like, I could do without the DRM stuff. That's whatever, I guess. Still important, but the thing that really just turned me off from the console was the Kinect with an always online camera.
Yeah. But it isn't anymore.
It's not anymore.
Yeah.
It's you don't have to have it
though with all that stuff.
Yeah. You still have to get it. It's still bundled no matter what.
It's still bundled, but you don't have to put it on the Xbox, which is the important thing.
Yeah, but
which
that's
I
the reason
won't.
why you're paying $100 extra.
Right.
Like, no one
I'll
else.
just smash it with a hammer. I would totally pay the $100 extra just so I can smash
it with a hammer.
that Orwellian piece
Fan
of
geared
crap.
video coming soon. We're less than a month away from the next consoles. What
Most of my... There's just, like, not a lot of stuff I would want on the Xbox. Like,
it's just for Destiny. The only reason I'm getting the next console is
It's
for
mostly
Destiny.
just for, I don't know, I'm kind of a solitary gamer, to be honest. Like, I like to play stuff by myself without, like, other people ruining my... Like, Animal Crossing, I never want people to come to my town, because they're just gonna dig holes everywhere and ruin everything.
Wow.
Like-
Is that the way that game works?
Pretty much.
Yeah, people
Oh my
just come over and
god.
ruin
People
your
just
town.
come and ruin your town? That's
Well,
horrible.
Not everyone,
So, like,
but there are people who are.
Most
like
of my friends, like, those, like, dig, like, circles of holes
awful.
and everything.
That's
My friends steal
awful.
my
You come outside, it's the morning.
You can't leave your
time
house
for a
because
new
there's
day.
holes right in front
There's
of you.
holes in front of
You
your
just
front
fill
door.
them all in by yourself.
What the hell is this? My
No,
town is
but-
covered in holes. I spent 80 million fake dollars on this, and now it's covered in holes?
And bells.
Bells.
Bells?
Excuse
Okay.
you.
80 million bells?
No, but
Excuse the hell out of me.
all of the stuff like on the 360 wasn't really stuff. A lot of it like you could get on the PS3, so I'd rather do that. Like I don't know, like Bayonetta or
Unless you were really into Halo, that was
Bioshock.
really the only exclusive on the 360.
yeah, but
And
also
Gears.
Left 4
And
Dead,
Gears.
which is like I'm a big fan
Is
of
Left 4 Dead an Xbox
It's
360
Xbox
exclusive?
And
That's a
PC.
good game.
But I have a PC, so I could play it
you
on the
go.
PC.
Yeah.
So Kingdom Hearts is my biggest incentive to get
Yeah,
a PS4.
that's the only
Destiny
reason I'm
for...
getting anything.
But
out of
Destiny's
it.
coming out on the PS4 too, right?
There's
Is
also
it?
Bayonetta is going to be on the Wii U, I think.
Bayonetta's exclusive to Wii U.
I thought...
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because if it's not... Because that would be the problem. Because I know Halo 5 is going to be Xbone exclusive,
Xbone.
unfortunately. That's
What
what
do
it's
you-
called.
what
The
do you get?
Xbone. Because it bones everybody.
No. What are you getting, Tommy?
Well, I'm a 360 guy, so I'm probably just gonna wait a couple years for Halo 5. Hopefully, the price will drop on the Xbox One by then.
It's likely that not only the price will drop, but they'll probably get rid of the Kinect bundle.
Yeah, maybe they're like, oh shit, guys, nobody wants to pay
Nobody's-
$100 for a thing that they never asked for.
I mean, I've heard a lot from people who have tried it that the Kinect 2.0 that's coming with Xbox One is great. Like, it works really well. There are a lot of really good uses for it. But,
Xbox off.
well, other than
Destroy
that-
your entire campaign experience.
Yeah. Just no, it's not necessary. It's
It
why
should
would
definitely be like what it is, an accessory that's
Yeah.
extra, and if you want it, you pay for it.
I was
Yeah.
reading a story
and I
online
think there will
about
be people who
that.
want it. But
There's a guy who, in the development for the console, would go on the PA system of the building and shout, "Xbox off!" and they'd all turn off at the same time and ruin whatever they were all doing.
and he got fired. Just like that guy who tweeted like, just deal with it about the DRM stuff.
Oh man.
That guy got totally fired.
That guy got
That guy got
trashed. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then any games we're looking forward to next gen?
Destiny.
Definitely. We talked about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts for sure. Destiny.
Oh,
Destiny's
the new
next
Zelda
gen. New Zelda Wii U, which we're supposedly supposed to be finding out more information come June.
I really enjoyed
Really?
Halo
Yeah.
4, so I'm looking forward to Halo 5.
Yeah.
Halo 5.
Oh my god, the new Zelda looks absolutely gorgeous. Like there's just
Titanfall.
that one trailer, and it's like always basically the same trailer. Just like,
but you
Oh,
must
you-
have it.
A new Smash too.
Yeah, new Smash.
Oh,
New
yeah.
Smash definitely.
Titanfall.
I can't wait. Yeah, Titanfall looks good. Titanfall and Destiny both are coming up for current gen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you won't actually need to buy.
What about Call of Duty Doge?
We'll probably get. I'm gonna guess we're going to get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 6 through 18
In the next 3 years?
in the next generation.
Yeah.
In
Most
the
likely.
next generation.
6 through 18. Gag me with a spoon.
What about the new Pokemon title that they haven't officially announced?
The new Wii U one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is probably
I-
going to be like a
I
Stadium
hope.
PBR game.
God,
I
I
haven't
hope
heard
to
about
God
that.
it's a new stadium.
it's Stadium
with all
or
6
Snap.
generations.
I have
I'm
a
gonna go
stadium
with
with
you.
mini
Yeah.
games in it, because what happens? Those are the best part of the stadium games. Like I really liked
The
PBR,
minigame.
except it had a lot of faults. Like some of them they just did not care about. Like Breloom's mushroom hat is just like an octagon. They put no time into some of the overworld Pokemon.
Ah, fuck it. They're not gonna notice
And
if
they
it's
made
got
shiny
a couple extra
Dugong like
sides.
poo brown. Like so my
What?
friend had like a shiny Dugong, and she wanted to see it in action.
More like Poogon.
Pretty much, because it's like pure
Yeah.
white as a shiny.
Yeah.
And it comes out in this big like burst of light, and it's like poo brown. It's like a giant floating turd.
All
and
that
she's
buildup.
never been more disappointed.
Well, all right. So Pokemon and Smash coming, and Bayonetta 2 coming to Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Destiny,
Titanfall.
Titanfall, Kingdom Hearts 3 finally. Although it's a few
After
years
like
off.
15 years.
Yeah,
I
we've
don't
still
know.
got a few years. So, what
Like
else?
80. Kingdom Hearts comes out next year.
Yeah, I think those are pretty good starts, and I'm excited. The Wii U has already started. We've gotten the Zelda remake, Wind Waker, which is great. There are other
you
great
talked
games
about.
on Wii U too, like
Pikmin 3, right?
Pikmin 3 is
I haven't
great.
played it yet, but
Um,
it's a horrifying game to play, to be honest. I'll probably get Pikmin 3.
yeah, and it's getting good third-party support too, like decent, at least better than the Wii did.
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't really think of anything else.
Bayonetta's going to be huge as an exclusive.
It's gonna be an excellent game.
Yeah.
I can already tell.
Especially because it's a Wii U exclusive. That's big. Like Nintendo paid for the production, so there's no way that they can even go back on that like they did with Rayman or Rayman Legends. Because Rayman Legends used to be a Wii U exclusive, but then they spread it to more because Wii U wasn't selling too well. Bayonetta doesn't even have that option because Nintendo bought it.
Well, that could be disastrous.
It could be good. It could be bad for Bayonetta. It could
Yeah.
be great. It's still great for Nintendo
Yeah,
either way.
absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what we're excited about. That was our favorite game, a lot of our favorite games from the past generation. Let us know in the comments what were your favorite games of this generation. You can include runners-up this time, not in the other videos though. And we'll see you on our next video that we make.